In this episode, you'll learn from a professional running physio/physical therapist why the Bulgarian split squat is one of the best strength workouts for runners, what it is exactly, how to do it, why you should do it, how to make it harder/progress it, how to avoid doing it wrong, a few other hacks, tips, and tricks, and more. Let's get into it. So let's go with number one, Bulgarian split squat. And tell me what it is, and then we'll get into a couple more things.
So a Bulgarian split squat is a rear foot elevated split squat. I quite like this exercise because it helps us work with a single leg stance, so building single leg strength, and we can particularly target the glutes and quadriceps with this one. So it's almost replicating the demands of running, and you can get a lot of load through that front leg without equipment.
Why do you think it's so important for runners especially to do this?
Once again, it replicates the demands of running. We have one leg in extension, which is essentially giving your hip flexors a stretch. And the forward leg, we want to train in single leg stance, again, replicating what we do when we actually run. Thirdly, I do think it's an excellent way to target some of the key muscle groups. So glutes, quads, and you can make it as hard as you want to make it.
Yeah. Would you say when you get better, you can start adding resistance, so adding weights?
Absolutely.
Dumbbells,
barbells, depending on how heavy you want to go. Or if you haven't got any weights, you can just increase the time at the depth of the squat to turn it into a bit of an isometric exercise. I've also, as an add-on, you can even do bent knee calf raises in that position. So you're getting the isometric contraction through your quads, through your glutes. May as well work the calves at the same time.
Yeah, that's a rough one, yeah. And going slow down, eccentric.
That's an correct.
Movement, right?
An isometric is when you're holding a muscle contraction but not moving the joint through range. So you're basically just sitting in that depth of the squat, holding it, muscles are working, and then if you wanted to, lift the heel up, start doing some calf raises.
All right, so how do you do it?
So essentially, I start sitting down on a bench with both feet, knees at 90 degrees. If you extend the forward knee, heel on the ground, and then stand up, it means the forward leg is in the correct position and you can take the back leg onto the back of a bench or a chair. From this position, you lower down into the squat. Now, ideally, we want to have that front knee around 90 degrees. It gives a bit of space at the knee joint. However, you can make it more quad dominant if you bring that front leg further towards you, or you can make it more glute dominant by bringing the front leg further away.
Wow, it sounds like a super versatile.
Yeah, there's a lot you can do with it, hence why I love it for runners.
I realized that I was doing my split squat, which is different than a lunge. And let's say I was doing lunges, and then I realized if I put my leg forward, it was a totally different exercise. And then I had it so that my knee was over my foot.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's not a bad thing because traditionally everyone's like, oh, don't put your knees over your toes. As with anything, you need to build into different exercises gradually, but it's an excellent way to get some quad strength in.
Nice. All right. So what are some, let's go inverse, which is opposite. So what are some ways that people can do this wrong?
It's usually when the foot is too close to the bench, because usually when I'm demonstrating this exercise to patients, they likely haven't done it before. So it's quite an awkward, uncomfortable position. If your front foot is too close to the bench, you want to be starting out with that, 90-degree angle at the knee. I don't think of any other errors I tend to see. Oh, it could be to do with the upper body too. Like sometimes people are leaning way too forward or looking at the ground. You want to have your chest up, nice and tall, a slight angle at the hips, and looking forward as always, trusting yourself, not, worrying that what your supporting leg is doing. It is going to sway around a little bit, particularly if you're not used to the exercise. But put trust in your body. It will get better. All
right. If you were to rank this of the 5 that we have as like, let's say someone only has time to do one exercise. Where would you rank this in 1 through 5?
Number 1.
Number 1?
Yeah. Because we're getting our calves too. So it's clearing, most of our lower limb muscle groups, particularly quads, glutes, calves. You can get a lot of bang for your buck with this one.
Look, I honestly did I say I know a lot. And then I see you on Instagram or you do something, I go, oh, that's another one. I didn't know about that. As far as strength exercises, plyometrics, form drills, all these different things. And it's funny. I want to do more of these. I just don't have it in my brain arsenal.
Yes.
You just have 5 or 6 things that you just go to. But I do these every few weeks and I'm always like, why don't I do more? And now knowing that it's your number 1, definitely going to incorporate this
and
more.
I quite like that back leg being in hip extension too, because runners need to have good hip extension. I mean, we need good single leg strength. So there's two things, kill two birds with one stone.
If you want to learn more about this topic, we went into further detail. You should go and check that out right here.